Blue team has slain the dragon.
If the Vibe would have been in position, slightly underleveled against Mirai, who's been left on his own, so does get away with that this time.
All right. Well, a very, very slow start to this game at number 5. I kind of expected it to be a bit of a bloodbath, just with the fact that a lot was on the line. But I also do think that the teams are playing a little bit more reserved. MKR, I mean, like bot lane, other than that play bot lane, which was, I think, a mistake from Egitz, I think, you know, you need the Lost Chapter. Once that Lost Chapter comes in, like, Mirai's life just becomes so hard.
Will be shoved up under the tower pretty consistently. Still hasn't quite got there, so he's doing alright. He's holding even.
I am glad he's not going the tier build, because he did the tier, well, he didn't do the tier last time either, and you kind of talked about it, but I feel like Lunen's Companion's just so much bigger for the Ziggs here.
You can just sit on the tier. It's not essential to upgrade.
He gets able to avoid they whiffed a lot there, but Egitz doesn't go down at least.
Yeah, looked like Kansuke was bopped into the wall. Pomo very low in this lane. Kurosh is holding ultimate. Not sure if R1 was... Nope, R1 not cast. Tristan has to be very careful. As soon as the health bar starts to get below half, that is just one wombo combo away.
I'm very surprised that Pomo's losing this lane this hard.
I think, once again, Kurosh is showing that it's like individual mastery over the champion pick. If you said like Orianna in the series, I'm like, fine, you're relying more on the greater picture than yourself, but it is Kurosh flavored, and once again the Akali doesn't quite fit in with the rest of the team, but it is something he's so good at, and you're reaching deep for game 5. You want that little bit extra.
They do catch on to MKR. The Ignite goes down. He flashes away from the true shot barrage. Mirai jumps in. They find the lockdown. The solar flare goes wide. That should be enough to secure the kill. The tower shot into the Ignite. Zenith Blade. Mirai's out of mana. Yone slides in. The bombs are there. They secured themselves 2 kills. Nice and easy.
Just a tiny overextension. I can't help but feel Mirai and Kansuke could have let that go. There is no teleport from MKR, so he would have still been forced into a bit of an awkward situation. A little too much.
I'm seeing Pomo actually get the good end of this trade in the mid lane.
I was wondering. You were wondering.
Took a long time to get there. He hasn't gotten fleet. That was probably the major issue here. He's one pressy attack, which is more, I want to trade, like, I want to burst trade more than just poke. Fleet is typically what we've seen a lot of Tristanas take, especially in like Corki matchups and stuff. But having that little bit of extra sustain means every trade you take, you will eventually kind of just make the difference back.
Massively nerfed on this patch, or maybe the one before.
True.
It is late night. I have not got the patch notes open in front of me. But yeah, clearly feeling that. Veluxo will go small, get engaged upon. Typical, trying to push the edge while he's small is the best way for Jax to play through the matchup. Grub's coming up now. No cross map for a minute.
Well, they're going in. Immediately, the Crescent Guard comes out. Pomo low HP, but he is able to jump away. In comes Kansuke. Finds himself the quickness onto multiple people. Yones finds himself taken down. Oh, Kurosh with the flash over the wall. Securing the kill onto one. He does go down to Veluxia. That was just explosive.
So stylish. We've been missing sort of that individual performance with the champions pick so far this series. Slice will just start to pick up these grubs now. Veluxua was there for the cross map. This is teleport in from MKR.
Yeah, they're going to look to bring in the Ziggs. This grub number 4 picked up for the side of Rich Gaming. They get a big Super Mega Inferno Bomb landing onto multiple people. Teleport coming in for a follow-up as Mirai tries to get a little bit of poke out. Pomo jumps in onto Slice. Slice is low HP. They're going to continue the chase forward. No ultimate available for the Yones for 6 seconds. He is like 2 HP. They couldn't find the opening. Oh, that is so sad for BlueWhites. That could have been a massive turnaround.
I'm surprised that Slice isn't running a bounty right now and he gets out of there. The skin of his teeth intact. Absolutely fantastic from Rich Gang's jungler. They've done so much this series on the Xin Zhao. Able to find the objective, able to manage the front line. The Crescent Guard allowed the 2v3 to survive for so long for Korosh to absolutely plow through. And unfortunately, I think it was the delivery system into the top of Famo for the Akali to deal all of the damage she needs. Lichbane nearly through already. The gold lead, it isn't as big as it was before Hiprain, but it is starting to grow. And with it, the ability of this Akali to dominate a side lane later on gets more and more likely.
Yeah, this Akali getting very scary. Bork almost finished up onto Pomo. Kansky, I don't think they're really going to pull a flank off unless they bring Slice down. But Slice is actually looking more towards a mid lane opportunity. Although, typical no teleport. Korosh has teleport though. They could actually just go for a very long flank angle. Slice is coming in. Are we going to see any action breakout? I think it's probably going to be quite hard with MKR being able to clear the wave. Right, gets a whole heap of damage off. There's going to be the satchel. There's the bomb. There's the charm. There's the kill. Kansky played that really, really reserved, patiently.
Now Lethal just waiting for MKR to sort of make it difficult for himself to escape. As the dragon comes up as well, so this is a continuation. Slice hasn't spent much time in his jungle since those grubs went down, but it will be coming up as he finishes this. It's a really long sort of play out, and it's going to suit the Xin Zhao really well. He's going to be able to go back to base. He's going to have his Sundered Sky ready. It's going to look so good, so much stronger than Vi at this stage of the game.
Yeah, 30 minutes on the clock. Items finishing up across the board, actually. You have the Abyssal Mask finished up onto Egits. You got the Ludens Companion, Bork, not Divine Sunderer, Sundered Sky?
If not, then I've quoted something else that sounds a lot like the current version of Sunder.
Is it Sundered Sky? I can't remember the name of this item now. I think it is.
I think I've dealt some mental damage. It's definitely Sunder. It's not Divine anymore. Gosh, the sort of stress that the players must be going through, if this is how bad we're doing just broadcasting it, boggles the mind. Fantastic resilience from both. It's been so easy just to drop a game here.
Yeah.
Oh my. Right, Lichbane through, Triforce through, big completions across the board. Titanic Hydra actually first for Slice. It has been his go-to this series. Just get you that extra reset, gets your 3 strike through a little bit faster. And with Herald just on the board, not a huge priority, but Yones is over there getting it. We're going to look back to the lanes. Everything nice and neutral coming in, bar typical. Both top laners holding their teleport. But otherwise, Rich Gang with the advantage. They could look to make a swap and put Mirai up to mid now. Get Korosh unleashed on the sides with level 11. Well, we'll just have to see at which point they decide to make their move. There is not a lot going on in the lull state, so we're looking to capitalize on an enemy mistake.
Might find himself in a little bit of danger. Apologies, I was muted. Pomo put some pressure up on as they're going to get the knockback off the Slice. Slice in danger. There's going to be the knockback, the knock up as well. Everything thrown down. Slice gets the turnaround. Yones making a run for it.
All right. Across the board, Rich Gang starting to inch out this gold lead. They might lose Mirai on the back here. Will get away through the Hex Gate as well.
Great escape.
Oh, man. That is so rough now. Typical just being left alone in the top side.
That's a 5-grub Jax.
That's so scary. That's so rough.
He's got Triforce and everything, so he just gets that big conk every now and then. That's 700 gold to the Jax. He is
big bounty.
fed without getting any kills.
It's looking good, and while Egets will open up here, Kansuke more than able to just walk in. Oh, not so much.
Solar Flare secures the kill, so at least it goes to Egets, but MKR still. The output of the damage from this guy is starting to get pretty big at this point. Right, may find himself in danger. Hex flashing forward. Zenith Blade doesn't make the connection. That would have been him in a lot of danger.
So close, just over the shoulder. Would have followed the arcane shift as well, as it was a reaction to the Zenith Blade coming out. Looking across the board now, Homo will be able to side up against Typical for some time. With the Blade of the Rune King, you do get that sort of burst of movement speed, and the strike at the top of the Jax's health bar can dissuade further play. But now Kurosh has moved to the side lane. Lich Bane's through, Boots are through. This is a lethal Akali. Really dangerous. And there is not much I think Veluxa or Pomo can do to stabilize. They're probably going to have to bring a Begets, but he's going down to the bottom lane right now. Might be an all-in on mid. Might be BlueWhites just throwing down hands here.
A little bit of a waiting game for the moment for this dragon to spawn up. He gets making his way over. Pomo's slowly but surely starting to get strong, and the summon of the Herald there is actually quite big. I think Yones, yeah, I was about to say, I think Yones might have just killed himself if he had followed that one.
Wouldn't mind a taxi to another lane, but there's no one there to set up either. So, yeah, maybe just the Regret Herald. I'm fine with it. It's better than the alternative. Oh, gosh. Alright, Rich Gang setting up for a play here. Kurosh currently uncontested. Rich Gang do not have to force the issue in this bot lane. They now have priority in top and can wrap around on mid. Oh, MKR.
I think he might be dead.
No way.
Oh, no, he's able to clear the wave. He's all right.
Okay, I think maybe we're playing with all the fog off, and I think Rich Gang could not see the two members of BlueWhites are in fog, so they're going to play it conservative. Do not need to go crazy, but Yones is out.
Yones able to jump away. True Shot Barrage comes through. Not going to be able to get it. That's Dragon, though.
Yeah.
Yones out.
Good timing. Onto the play. That will be 2. And I think 3 Hextech Dragons and a Soul is looking good on Rich Gang right now. 4,000 the lead, so 2 real items spread across 5 characters. Stuff like the Tiamat for the Jax does matter. Will allow him to push those lanes in even faster. A little bit of a lull state now. We've got a minute before the Baron. Setup there would be cool. You don't need to commit everything. Flash is currently missing on Miro and Kansuke. And a little bit of cheese here is BlueWhites. Circling between the top lane turrets.
Rush. Hit by the Zenith Blade. They're going to keep him locked down, and pop, he goes. MKR secures the kill. That should be a tower as well, with the Ziggs in the area. Demolish Ziggs. Yeah, that ain't lasting for long.
You got both.
They might actually hold W.
Yeah, might go for the second tower. You have 2 other lanes to worry about, but they have got Pomo to catch one at least. Not that he's going to reach
dodge away
the
and the
tower,
wind
right?
becomes lightning. And they have the Mega Inferno Bomb if the wave gets too rough. And actually, Typical's just quite happily split pushing. Again, Demolish, Grubs, able to take a lot of damage off that one. Pops the helicopter. Tower goes down. Typical is slowed, though, by the Q. Finds himself the lockdown. The CC chain comes in. Typical pops the ultimate. Veluxa a long way off hitting that ultimate. He's slowly getting there, though. Helicopter number 2 comes out. Egets finds himself caught for the moment. Veluxa about to get the ultimate back up. And this could be their opportunity. They're all pinned. Double man slam. No follow-up. They don't have their damage with Pomo dead and MKR in the top side. MKR did get a tower, but
the solo tower will bring the Tristana just about even. I think BlueWhites got out of that as best they could have. They did test Rich Gang to see if they were coming down to the lower section, but not too bad overall. It's sort of a weird trade. Pomo is getting stronger. Still not able to stand up, I think, in the side lane to anyone but Typical on a decent wave with someone shadowing. We're committing numbers, we're committing conditions to BlueWhites being able to play out 3 lanes here. So it is getting tougher for them as Kurosh continues to get stronger. A Seeker's Arm Guard now looking for a flashy play in the next minute or 2 so that he's not paying an extra cost upgrading that to his Anyas.
yeah, absolutely. Did see Pomo is being a little bit of a weak spot for the side of BlueWhites as well as Typical. Find himself in a bit of danger. Helicopter comes out. Mega Inferno Bomb does hit the mark. Zenithblade follows up. Jones is keeping the pressure up onto him. Will find the Q to interrupt. Kansky jumps in with the quickness. Able to catch onto multiple people. Satchel goes a little bit wide. Typical on the run. In comes Slice, though. He gets himself. The wind becomes lightning. Teleport forwards. Veluxia, low HP. Mirai almost able to secure the kill. Everybody is on a blip of health as Pomo sends 2 back. Kansky goes down. Typical's able to secure another kill. BlueWhites have crumbled in the fight as Rich Gang have just run them through. Slice gets a little bit more damage off, but MKR still pretty tanky right now. Pretty healthy, at least. The biggest problem is Korosh wasn't there in the fight.
Nope.
So he's just going to take bot tower.
4v5 will push another teleport out. That is 2 teleports committed from BlueWhite for a fight they did not quite make happen. Wasn't their biggest loss so far. He's still extending. Dragon and Baron are... So Baron is up, but Dragon not up for a while yet. BlueWhite sort of have to pace themselves. They've only got 1 or 2 more fights on even standing before Rich Gang once again hit them with the wallet. 5,000 now is already quite a lot, but it is not far from out of hand.
Yeah. I feel like that last fight was the wallet, to be honest. When they took a 5v4 and won it that confidently. Imagine if Korosh was there. It'd be a very different fight. And we might now see the numbers advantage in favor of Rich Gang. As Kansky actually popped the quickness, I believe. Or was that just... okay, don't worry. Both supports. Both supports fumbled ult there, so it's all right.
Trying to find a way in. Trying to find anything at all. I do like the Horizon even more from MKR this time. You guys might see that blue sort of splash on the screen. That is the effect of hitting someone over 600 range gives you vision on multiple members. He is on cooldown right now, but very short. Will allow progression towards this Baron. Because instead of just a splash of a bomb and a maybe, you get confirmation.
They're putting some damage onto Kansky. Slow with the field, but okay, he's down. Do you get a little bit of damage off? MKR eats something. They ping back. Slice's ultimate is absolutely huge. Zenithblade from Egits, but Slice is still untouchable. Kansky goes down in the middle of everything. Mirai wasn't there for the fight, so ultimately it's a jungle for support, which means this is going to be Dragon number 3 for Rich Gang.
Yeah, I think 3rd time in a row they've just actually taken that fight just before Dragon spawns, and it's worked out. They did miss out on Dragon number 1 in exchange for the grubs. And it's looking good. Rich Gang are on curve. They've found timer on timer to get into an objective. Looking more confident, and BlueWhites, you've given Hiprain hope tonight, and it's dealt him significant mental stress. And you got one more chance, guys. One last big effort.
The thing that's given me the most mental stress is the drafting, honestly. Like, oh my word.
Yeah, it's very themed, which is good to enjoy as an observer, and when you're trying to predict and break down the nitty-gritty, often produce a lot of pain, as just like Kansky sliding out from under that solar flare that had very little hope of hitting him.
Yeah, especially when Jones was more interested in his blue buff.
I think Jones knew what was up.
He didn't have ult, to be fair.
Yeah.
So it was probably a stretch, but this guy's been a little bit too farm obsessed, and considering he's been down farm pretty much every game in the series.
70 down on Slice right now. It's a huge deficit.
He's 2 levels down on Slice, by the way. Oof. Like, I don't know. The items are equal, but the level difference and the gold difference is a little bit scary.
Yeah, you get this extra thing with characters like Vi and Jinzhao as well. So when you get the ball rolling, you are still the carry. You haven't become the second boost.
Might find himself in danger. Once again, the power is huge. Mirai going very low, though. Pomo is putting some damage into him. Gets stunned up for a brief second. Able to jump away to safety. They're keeping the damage going, though. Pomo not going to get himself out of this one. The wind becomes lightning. Doesn't connect. Almost finds the turnaround. MKR now on the run. The helicopter comes forwards, and there is the stun. No Narnia by Rich Gang. They are pretty rich this game. Gonna be able to take Baron off the back of that.
Stacks of cash. Slice with the Titanic Hydra. Literally the only difference between him or Pomo making it out there was the active on that item in the last auto attack, the last moment he could have taken an action. Veluxa is going to be able to push up mid, so it's not all bad news bears for BlueWhites, but it's looking pretty rough right now. Maybe the boomerang.
Alrighty, well, well. Down goes Baron. No opportunity there. BlueWhites. I think the read came through from game 3 onwards, and they have been struggling ever since. Feluxia will be able to get himself a tower, as a response, but this game is about to get infinitely harder in the next 2.5 minutes. If BlueWhites can't secure this dragon, Hextech Soul is just one of the most oppressive souls in the game. It's so rough to play into.
When you've got Ezreal to apply it at long range as well. Same would go for Ziggs and Tristana. However, they are multiple dragons away. It's so hard to play into. That Chain Lightning just whittling you down. We've had Varus after Varus this series, much of a similar vibe. And before a fight, just someone's going to start with a fifth to half of their health missing. And there's not much to be done for it.
Yeah,
2 minutes and under.
Almost really going to be able to defend this one into Baron versus Ezreal. And the Xin Zhao who can just threaten him at any moment. That is him just going to be sent packing for the moment.
Alright. I think you mentioned in the back room as well, another advantage. Rich Gang have played plenty of series so far. And BlueWhites, they came in strong off their break. They maybe didn't have the best first set against Rich Gang, but at the start of this, they were ready and raring to go. Rich Gang have held on exceptionally well. Multiple players who've been involved in promotion, relegation, series before. They clearly are feeling the comfort now. Just a little better. Pomo, Unions going to the end.
I think every time they do the same thing. They Crescent Slash the Ziggs ult, and it completely changes the fight. They do get the kill onto Kanski though, but I mean, it's already wrapped.
Yeah,
Difficult's in the base. Karash is in the bot side. MKR, time and time again, ulting a full health Xin Zhao with ultimate, and it's just not going to do anything. It looks like this is the end of the road for BlueWhites. Rich Gang in the reverse sweep. Just absolutely crushed them in the last 3 games, and there it is. Rich Gang have qualified for the NLC. We'll see you in spring. That was a little anticlimactic, that ending, to be honest. Just that, like, a really underwhelming team fight from BlueWhites, and 2 side lanes just pushing in and taking the base. I was kind of hoping for like a big moment for Rich Gang to qualify, but nah, BlueWhites, I don't know.
I think it's been fought in the last 3 hours of back up against the wall. No more mistakes now. No more creative freedom. It's do or die, and it feels somewhat bittersweet for BlueWhites. But oh man, that was hard fought from Rich Gang. Yeah,
Rich Gang. I mean, the tenacity to hang on. Those first 2 games made them look like BlueWhites did in Div 1, all split long, and they recognized. Hats off to BlueWhites for having like a game plan for Rich Gang. The problem was I think in their head that was gonna win them the whole series, and forgetting it was a best of 5. If it was a best of 3, they would have 2-0'd it, no problem, because there wasn't time for the adaptation to come in from Rich Gang. The problem is Rich Gang, they had an adaptation for that game plan, and BlueWhites didn't have a backup. Other than because the Varus was their the Varus plus ranged was their bot lane insurance, the Corki mid was their mid lane insurance, and they kind of fumbled. I do have some concerns about Rich Gang. I think Slice and Karash really need to look at their champ pools, because once you go up versus anyone who can play Yone, your game plans just fall apart every time. Unless there's a major, obviously we do have big changes coming at the end of the year. We'll have our season 15 changes. So maybe we'll see a return to the Orianna and the mages mid lane. But if we stay on these more aggressive kind of AD mid lanes going forwards, they're gonna have some serious problems. So I'll be very excited to see what they're gonna pull out going forwards. But in the current state of mid lane, I do worry a little bit about Rich Gang. I think their champ pools maybe they're undoing, but they've got time. We don't know if this will be the exact same roster, but if it is, I think the main thing they need to work on is their ability to kind of widen those champ pools, because we showed some real promise there. Rich Gang had some really good adaptation as that series went on. They had a good read on it. Mirai, really, really solid ADC. Very excited to see them back, because it's been a while since I've seen Mirai play, so nice to see them back, and qualified for Div 1 of NLC.
Yeah. It's been a fantastic run for them all the way through Div 2. They've earned it pretty much every step of the way. I really wasn't sure if they'd beat 42 out at the end. But a split well earned. And they have got that position. They've got Aurora to play as well. So, I think we probably will see more of those majors. 14-18, which is live for us peasants at home, is more mage-centric, and then we've been promised even more twists to majors. With the current direction of the PB does seem to influence, like, more characters are going to see, like, buffs to base damages. We're going to see cooldowns adjusted. Syndra is probably going to make a return to the forefront.
It's
looking
weird.
at the way it's going.
I'm in two heads on it because I'm so bored of the AD mid meta. I think like Tristana Corki handshake was boring to watch.
Yeah.
I think mages are infinitely more boring. They slow the game down. Like mages are genuinely the most unfun thing to watch for me. I will hold hope that we get an assassin meta or like a fighter meta mid. That's
Kurosh has just given you a preview of what could have been. You know, if some players were more comfortable just banging the Akali on the table and saying like, "Oh, you want to play Tristana? You think that's safe?" Could be the way forwards. We'll see.
I will hold on optimistically because here's the thing: if Akali does join the meta, LeBlanc then joins the meta because LeBlanc absolutely
LeBlanc's
shatters
already
Akali.
in as of LCK.
True,
I don't think anyone was playing it today.
In the
but, like,
East, they're
you should.
playing it, but we're not seeing many Westerners pull out the LeBlanc yet. And
Come on, guys. Do it.
I'm praying for it. Anyway, with that, Rich Gang have now qualified for NLC Div 1. Very, very big congratulations over to them and a big deserved win for that reverse sweep. Huge games from them. BlueWhites, my condolences. Hopefully we'll see you having another shot at it after everything else. But guys, for us, we are done. We'll be back in October for the Aurora Cup, so make sure you tune in for that one. Remember, spots are still open, so if you and some mates feel like you're going to give it a shot, you can sign up over on the link over on NLC LOL on Twitter. But thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you in October for Aurora Cup. Bye-bye.
Good night.